Hello everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder videos, and at tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to a Patreon D&D, where platinum level patrons and I get together to play Dungeons and Dragons via Discord and Roll20. These sessions are entirely supported by patrons of patreon.com/roguewatson. Patrons also get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, and participate in monthly DM roundtables. These Patreon D&D games are not live streamed, but are recorded for your viewing pleasure. You can watch more D&D sessions, reviews, and crafting streams on my channel, read recaps at roguewatson.com, and listen to all of these shows with the Rogue Watson podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow me on Twitter at Rogue Watson and join our Discord server with invite link into the description below. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our amazing original character art was done by Jimmy McClure. Welcome to Chapter 2, Episode 5 of our Empire of the Ghouls campaign, designed by Richard Green and published by Kobold Press. This session, I am joined by patrons Brandon, playing Bahn, the Kobold Bard College of Whispers.
Hello.
Christopher, playing Rye, the Shadow Fae Black Powder Sorcerer.
Hello.
Genocider, playing Kovac, the ratfolk Dawnblade Rogue.
Hello.
John, playing Torben, the bearfolk Barbarian.
Hi there.
Stan, playing Alaric, the dhampir Death Domain Cleric / Bard.
Good evening.
I keep forgetting to remember you're a multi-classed bard. Previously on Empire of the Ghouls, the party emerged from the Fey Road into an old elven ruin known as the Stone Galleries. The lifelike humanoid and monstrous statues throughout the old plaza warned of danger. Sure enough, that danger emerged in the form of a hungry basilisk. Some chose to avert their eyes against its petrifying gaze, or kept their distance, while others steeled themselves for battle. An entangle spell from Io kept the basilisk locked down, but just as the party was about to emerge victorious, a new foe entered the battle, an ambushing party of ghouls. The ghouls were led by an armored imperial ghoul who wanted to seize the Archduke. Lucien levitated the noble out of harm's way, while the others dealt with this new threat. Where Alaric nearly turned to stone from the forgotten basilisk, but eventually the party was able to come out on top, though not before Kovac was infected with Darakul fever. With the ghouls and basilisk defeated and the crisis averted, the party explored the rest of the ruins, battling a nest of cockatrices, experiencing overwhelming images of the past, and looting a magic tower. After short rest, they turned their sights east toward Krakovar and their destination, free City of Johzt. On the map. You all are now much further north than you were before. In fact, look at how far you've come since Zobek. This is, I think, close to accurate distance-wise. 700 miles. Good third of that via the Fey Road, the fast travel system. Now, however, as the Archduke has explained, there is no fast travel to get to Johzt. It is just going to be over 150 miles. It should take about a week's worth of travel. And the wolf mark has been carved out by the Reaver dwarves from across the sea, across the Nider Straits up here in Wolfheim. They've been frequent raiders and problems for Krakovar, except when the undead invaded and ended up conquering the country. The City of Johzt actually welcomed the Reaver Dwarves with open arms. They had previously established a foothold in Skogarholm at the northern peninsula, and it was kind of a enemy of my enemy situation. So they let the dwarves come in, and the dwarves took control of the city and have kept, at least as far as the Archduke is aware, has kept the city and really the entire peninsula free from the undead's influence, and has since been basically conquered by the Jarl's son into another province of Wolfheim called the Wolfmark. That is where the Archduke thinks that they've got their best bet for trying to rouse support for helping take back the country. Instead of looking west to the elves, which is what the Queen was doing, he was thinking that they should just use people who are already fighting the undead and already carving out territory. Although people have obviously wildly different opinions of the very much Viking-like dwarves of Wolfheim. How do you all want to try to set out and cover ground? Obviously, you want to stay. Well, I don't want to presume too much. Actually, it's really entirely up to you. The Archduke, obviously, you've already run into a problem where this, and from what you've seen, the Empire seems to have spies just everywhere, and they have been tracking your movements. And the last two that you've come across, they have had like detailed information on all of you. And yet, you've also realized, pretty obviously, that their primary target has been the Archduke, for reasons you're still not quite sure of.
And they can communicate exceptionally fast.
Yes. Yes, they have a rather impressive network, and you do note that the entire empire is located underground. So even though the region itself... So you've been dealing with a lot of ghouls and things, but Krakovar has been conquered by the vampire country of Morgau. Now the vampires, they ended up allying with the Imperium to take Krakovar, and the two forces just overwhelmed the country. But as far as you all know, the country remains occupied by Morgau's forces and troops. Everybody's fairly certain the Imperium has retreated back down underground, but what they've been doing in the years since, not sure.
I think we should try to stay out of sight as much as possible, but also use some of our contacts that we have to maybe find a safe haven to where we can rest a little bit. Because I know that, no offense, Rye, but that road took something out of me. And I'm feeling a little stiff after that last conflict.
I'm all for traveling unseen. The stealthier, the better.
They're just off the beaten path.
Yeah, and you guys are not exactly in the middle of a metropolitan area. You are, in fact, on the edge of the old elvish forest of the Tomerian forest, part of Dornig. You'll be entering fairly rough country. I mean, there's still going to be villages dotted everywhere, as there always are. But this is... Krakovar is kind of a hilly, mountainous region, but you'll actually be going... heading towards the coast in a lot of ways, so probably dealing with just rugged terrain in general.
So are we slashing as we go?
Maybe not be that extreme, but it depends on the path you take. If you want to like literally try to avoid people, or you can try to do other things. So essentially what this is going to involve is every day you're going to have to make a group check. And this could involve survival, which is literally we're avoiding people and we're just going into the bush, like the wilderness, and trying to cross that way.
Nope.
You can do stealth, as Kovac has already remarked, or you could technically employ some form of deception if you wanted to try to actually sort of travel out in the open as a way. These would all involve group checks from all of you, and it would be every day making these group checks. And you would note that if you tried to do maybe the same one over and over, it might get harder to maintain that.
Is it also possible to use persuasion to maybe find a safe haven using some of our contacts?
Because of... In fact, can you put your background in the chat for me?
Sure.
Or is
It's
that
the Rebel Network
Yeah.
right there.
I don't know if you can actually click it or if you just need to copy and paste it.
Yeah, I can get it for you in a second.
There's usually a chat bubble next to your features that will put it in chat if you click on it.
Are we in the fields, forests, or mountains of the Blood Kingdom? There's so many things on this map.
Technically, yes. The Blood Kingdom is has I guess changed in the last 10 years. So yeah, it used to be this area down here, this right here. I don't know if you can see my circle to the south where it says Doresh, Morgau, and Bratislava is like the capital of the vampire. So this whole area that's like surrounded by mountains and things, this was the vampire kingdom for the longest time. And then they recently pushed north and then conquered Krakovar, which is a way larger territory. So technically it is all considered to be part of the Blood Kingdom now. And I guess that was 10 years ago, so they've got a firm establishment now. Secret resistance connections throughout the Krakovar that you can call upon for assistance. Redeem yourself to those with the correct code word. Okay. So essentially what this is going to do is grant you advantage, Alaric, on basically any of the checks that you choose to do.
Which means I get to do them straight because of 1 level of exhaustion.
That's true. You're tired, but you've got connections.
Yes.
So you're very cranky when you talk to people.
That's the password.
Tired. Help me out. So day 1, what are we thinking? And the Archduke will defer to you all. He says that he is most trained in court intrigue, and not so much, exploring the wilderness, I guess. But he is certainly willing to follow you all. You've proven yourself time and again.
Useless. Got it.
I
Wait a
vote.
second.
I
I mean,
say,
go ahead.
You go.
You first.
I vote deception. As we try to skirt these heads.
They're
Deception,
all
like disguise.
It's whatever you want it to be. Yeah, you tell me.
Okay.
We making like a straight shot towards Jost, or are we trying to go for the road or the coast or what?
I wouldn't go to the road.
Yeah, Archduke says the same. Yeah,
Now I
'cause
don't want to get my guts wet.
yeah, the road would be straight east, and it would also cost you more time. Technically, you'd save time on the road, but it might be even because of the way you'd have to travel to get there. And yeah, as Alaric mentions, I might want to avoid the roads.
But if discovered, he pops his fangs, I may be able to be persuasive that you're with me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm being too nitpicky here about. Is this like a thing we have to climb and then climb down, or do we go around this, or what?
Honestly, a lot of the trials and tribulations you face are going to come down to these checks that you're making. That's how we're going to abstract everything. So,
Okay, I'm good with deception for the first go.
okay. So deception would be basically you are not trying to skulk or sneak or anything. You're instead kind of walking in plain sight, but you're pretending to be what?
Alaric and Matthias can take point for this and act like you guys are with us. And Alaric will just pop his fangs and keep him out.
What are we, a traveling band? Are we?
You're my servants.
What? No.
Alaric looking a little ferocious, embracing the dark side.
Well, I am home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing. Whatever's going to get out of this hellhole faster, I'm down for it. So be it if we have to act as if we're servants.
Okay. So you all can travel as part of Alaric's entourage. And
Well, Lucian's as well. So
That's true. Yeah, Lucian can literally do the same thing, and you guys can be kind of you don't really have like a palanquin or anything to ride him around, and you're not even sure necessarily how that would work, but maybe just
cool in
exploring.
the wilderness.
Yeah, with some muscle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, give me a deception check, and Alaric, you would have advantage, but because of exhaustion, it would be canceled out. Did somebody else mention they had exhaustion as well? I forget.
I do.
Okay. Are really wanting to reach Jost and get Kovac. -2. You just can't help but be who you are. Look at the disparity of the roles here.
Group check. Group
Bahn just
check.
becomes a different person entirely.
Is there a spot to toggle disadvantage, or does it pop when I hit?
It's a setting you usually have.
I think
to
in the
make
gear,
sure.
yeah, you can set it to add that as a toggle. I can do it for you if you'd like me to. Ooh, this is getting interesting. So the Archduke is part of the entourage, so he also has to make the check. However, the Archduke is pretty good at deception, and he is willing. He's bristles at first at the notion of being a part of this entourage for his conquerors. And yet, he can employ the role quite well. So we have 2, 3, okay. So that easily passes the group check thanks to 4 very good people and 2 not so much. But you are able to kind of sell it for the 2 that are kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. And that's probably what happens. You all come across like another group of, hunters out in the field or something, and you can pass by and you all kind of look the part, but they look like twice at the ratfolk and the towering bearfolk coming through. But you're selling the sheer force of will and presence of your dhampir.
Yeah, that's right. Don't mess with us. We're scared.
Well, we are a hunting party, and he points at Torben, who's carrying 2 dead bodies.
Are you
So-
still carrying those bodies? I assume we probably buried them somewhere in the stone galleries.
Yeah, probably so. That short rest, because it was really about just getting him out of the
Out of the
Pharaoh.
yeah, that's what I assumed. It reminds me of like an RPG where you got multiple characters and you just forget about the one character's like still like just like holding on to something random. Just like, wait, crap, I didn't equip your weapons in time for this battle.
I was gonna say Torben and Rye, come into town as the other stuff had exited. It was like, hey, we finally found you. We saw the Duke hanging in the air. We knew Duke was up to it.
Yep.
Up to it.
Nice.
We barely caught up to you.
All right, so you are able to travel for a day at a decent pace, and then find a suitable campsite at night. For day 2, uneventful so far. What do we use to cross? You can still use deception if you like. The Archduke just warned that maybe switching things up might help you all as well.
Maybe survival as we get close. Try to avoid people.
I'd be okay with sneaking.
Stealth might be better in my situation.
Stealth would work for me as well. We were able to deceive once. Maybe we just try to avoid contact today.
We do have the mask charm, and if I'm not mistaken, there's the Sky Self scroll. Well, I know it doesn't last very long, but before we know that we might approach somebody, if we can scout them early, we could use it.
That could be very helpful on the Duke. Perhaps the mask charm that he can engage as
That's
needed.
true.
Yeah,
That could be very helpful.
I think that's fine.
I had
I don't have any problem with him having that.
I had the advantage toggles for you, John.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I see it there. It actually, when I went to roll it, it popped up whether I wanted to do normal, disadvantage, or...
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
advantage. So,
That just lets you... Okay, if that's easier for you, then I would switch it back to that then. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, no, that's fine. No, that's easy because pretty much everything is disadvantage for the moment.
Welcome to my game. Everything's disadvantage.
The charm is only an hour, same as the scroll, but if we save it for the times that he needs it, I'm fine with it.
Sounds good.
Rye is missing that cloak.
But what did it buy
We
you?
had we
Speaking of
had
this-
other options.
All right, we going with stealth this time?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds like. All
I think
right.
so.
Give me some stealth checks from everybody as you try to sneak around an area. Oh, interesting.
Oh
He's
my!
Alaric. Alaric with a +8 for stealth as the cleric. My goodness.
I say that every time.
All right, it shocks me every time. You're just full of surprises. Archduke is not as good at stealth, and yet
It's the mass charm. He's
pulled
good.
it off pretty well. That was a clutch one too. I think we had, yeah, that was actually a clutch roll for you all.
Bahn keeps yelling at Torben about how loud he's being.
Yeah, definitely making some noise, but thankfully, in fact, the Duke probably hushes you, and you're probably incensed by that. But you see like somebody on a horse like coming by, and you all stay like really still, and then it keeps going on, and he just kind of glares at you. And this once beautiful countryside has just grown wild and untamed, and the nights, as you sit down to camp, are filled with distant howls and screams. At one point, you cross a dark road crossing, and an old, worn signpost has a gibbet and a skeletal figure inside that has since long rotted away.
Whose idea was it to do this trip? I forget.
The Archduke's. Although this does
No!
match, you all were searching for this holy relic that may help you in, help battle the undead, the holy robes, and apparently the best lead you had was in Johzt. So it was kind of a, on the way, why don't you escort this NPC? Who is apparently #1 target for all your enemies. there was that little bit of information.
How's Guy doing? Is Guy doing all right?
Guy's doing great. Yeah, he's a huge fan. He's constantly asking you all stories of your past adventures. He's really opened up a lot lately. He seems to be motivated too. He was a former. So now you got me playing a fucking backstory of this character. A former Krakovian soldier, and that's why. Still a young guy for sure, but lost a lot during the invasion. Perhaps he was a child during the invasions. That was 10 years ago, and now has jumped at the chance to help the Duke come back and retake the country, and has been very much impressed with all of you. And I can't wait to kill this character off when I get a chance.
And Matthias is just quiet, like just looks at him every time, just shakes his head. It's just, but.
Otherwise, it's blissfully uneventful again on day 2. Day 3 arrives. What is our plan now?
What if we intimidate them? and
I was
just
thinking the same thing.
snarl
Roll
at
into a
'em?
village and just intimidate the crap out of them. You saw nothing.
Shoulders up. Everybody just stand tall.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Act like we own the place.
That sounds like we're gonna burn and tear villages down.
Well, I mean,
I have a cantrip for that. I
Maybe
have a
the town
cantrip for
deserves
that. Walk into the center of town and become death incarnate. We can do this. Where would you
We
like
all
to spend
float
the
it.
night? We've got empty rooms everywhere.
You tell me.
I mean, if we're gonna walk in like badasses, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's not. Let's not
Go ahead.
attract attention to ourselves from the vampire kingdom.
Fair enough.
Turn
you
the cloak and the wings, pop the fangs, and I'm ready to go.
Man, everybody getting so confident now.
Well,
we have
what
a
do you
limited. We have a,
suggest,
a specific set of skills, man.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
I'll
gonna-
roll intimidation, but I would give myself disadvantage, and I have a -3.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Maybe-
option B is we could go to the forest right to the right of the town and use survival.
Or persuasion.
I don't know your persuade trees, but
No, I mean, just if roll into a village and use persuasion instead of intimidation.
What about you, big guy? Which one do you think?
I would like a better night's rest,
Oh, tell me about it.
but I am comfortable overland through the forest. But I see that you're not so much.
Oh,
But
okay.
Thank you for noticing my scrawny appearance.
It's the complaining.
Yep.
You know what?
Um,
You know what? That's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you just how good I am at survival.
And that's when the fight started.
Into the bush.
Survival it is.
Yeah. And yeah, Torben, you feel like all these little small areas. You're just. Oh my goodness, this is gonna get exciting.
And that's when the fight started.
Wait.
I don't know. Torben could pull it out here.
so with my can I negate the disadvantage with my background?
Which? What is your background? Do you have the same?
He posted it just above.
Oh, I'm
Alaric
sorry, I
earlier.
missed it.
It's
Born
okay.
of the soil.
Maybe with the fields,
Yeah,
force, and
that's
mountains.
what I-
Oh, gotcha. Qualities.
Or are we outside the principalities?
You know, it's a it's a weird edge case because the principalities, the borders have changed. So, but I believe you mentioned your backstory that you were originally either from this area or you were in this area during the invasion.
Mm-hmm.
So you were here. So yeah, I would allow that. I think it would negate the disadvantage.
Okay.
You're tired, but you remember things.
See, I told you I was better.
Boy, this is gonna be another. It's gonna be another fucking Archduke. It's gonna come down to this. I should do his first, so it's more exciting for you guys to see. This is survival. Oh boy. All
I'm
right.
cold. I'm hungry. I don't want to be here.
So you guys are specifically going through the wilderness area, and you're just making a lot of noise. You feel like you're just attracting attention. You hear like sounds all around you, and then you head down to camp that evening, and you have a constant feeling of just being watched, like you haven't had so far, and yet you still, have to settle down and get your campfire out and eat something. And as you do that, the Archduke opens up a little bit. You've been traveling for some time, and he just kind of starts talking after a couple days of traveling in Krakovar. He says, we've bordered Morgau for years, and we were always prepared for an attack, ever since King Lucan took control. But we never expected an attack from below. When I first heard reports of Tannenberg Castle, I couldn't believe it. Legions of the dead swarming up from hidden tunnels, slaughtering everyone inside. Same time Jarlsberg fell to the vampire armies, marching over the border in the night. Within the week, the dead began swarming over the walls at Wallenberg. I was nearly killed, not for some brave but foolish soldiers. We'd lost the southern half of the country before we even blinked. He sighs. My brother, King Heinrich, is planning a full-scale assault from Castle Heidelberg. He was assassinated by a vampire spy before they ever left. Northern armies were trained to fight the reavers from across the sea, not the undead. Fought well, but they lost. And our losses were the enemy's gains. 10 days, the capital city surrendered. Brave, loyal Krakovians risked their lives to ensure the Queen's safety and egress, much as my own. I haven't set foot back here since the invasion. I should have died back in Wallenberg. He kind of stares into the campfire.
We've all had those moments and those thoughts. We all should have died at one point or another from this horrible war. We've all lost someone too.
He nods
And
and looks.
Matthias would speak up and goes, "Some of us chose to defend you and your family. We are not a country without you."
Some of us greatness was thrust upon them.
He nods solemnly and says, I thank you again for your help with this. This plan will work. It has to work. People, they are those who must fight back. As you sit around the campfire having this conversation, the ground beneath you suddenly violently erupts all around. Decaying hands begin reaching up, clawing out of the dirt, pulling zombified bodies out of the ground. And in the distance, in the darkness, kind of at the edge of your campfire light, you can see a lurking figure waving its hands as bright flashes appear all around you. And
We apparently did so poor on that survival check. We camped out on a graveyard.
Yeah, literally on top of a graveyard.
Necromancy you right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the quad.
I am trying to look up the spell, as I recall. It's pretty much sure it's wisdom. A wisdom saving throw from all of you, please.
Rip.
The hypnotic pattern comes to descend upon you. DC of... Oh, it already says a 13.
The second one's Matthias.
Yep. The Duke, what is your wisdom, sir? It's actually not too bad. Oh, yes, it is. He was, he was in a vulnerable state right there. Very emotional, unfortunately for him. All right, we are.
You have Guy queued up.
You know what? I don't have a Guy. Watch him just fucking
Okay.
nailed it.
Yep.
Fucking nailed it.
Him and Matthias are in competition again.
Love it. All right, let me get some initiative from everybody, please. If you are on this map, I'm hoping everybody still has some vision based on the campfire in the middle.
And that is an ability check, correct?
Initiative is an ability check.
Is that a disadvantage?
Keep reminding us. Boy, you really want a safe place to rest, don't you?
Sure do. And that would be Matthias, sorry.
Yeah, make sure you've got the tokens.
Yeah, I did that dumb thing again.
All right, so everybody that failed, let's see, where are we with that? Failed the whiz save is currently affected by the hypnotic pattern, which is that you are charmed, and while charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0. It ends if you take any damage, or if someone else uses an action to shake you out of your stupor. Just concentrate.
Is it all of us?
It affected all of you. It looks like Alaric, Torben, and the Archduke are the ones that failed. Get that right with the 30-foot cube?
Yeah, no, you did.
Bum bum bum. Are currently affected by the hypnotic pattern.
Are the Are the zombies impacted by the hypnotic pattern?
They are not. Timing wise, it was them erupting while the spell was being cast. I think
Okay.
I mentioned the zombies first, but fully entered. Battle music, go. Alright, do we have everybody on the initiative? Do I need to fix anything or change anything? Got the
See me.
Archduke on there. I don't think I rolled for our guard friend guy. Go. Jeez, fucking monster initiative.
Alaric, are you on the initiative?
I don't think mine showed up.
Think it
I didn't
either.
hit the tokens in time.
If you do it again, you can manually change it.
Um,
Who was the source of the hypnotic pattern?
I mentioned a
Or
lurking figure at the edge of the light of the campfire.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually, yeah, just out of your vision, but some of you that are not stunned can probably be gesturing in a direction. Or not incapacitated, I should say. Is Matthias on there? Do I need to set his up?
yeah. Matthias is a 7.18. And Alex. No, Alex is a 7.18. And Matthias is a 7.
Okay. And there, I almost rolled the same. Alright, so that was basically the functional surprise round. So we're going to start with Bahn. You have seen a number of what look very much like zombies crawl up out of the ground right around you. But a number of your friends seem to be stupefied at the same time.
And they're just incapacitated, which means they can't take actions or reactions, right?
Incapacitated means you can't take reactions or reactions, although specifically Hypnotic Pattern also says they have a speed of 0.
Yeah.
So
Which
I
is
don't-
okay.
Yeah.
Bahn scrambles into the tent and go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to mention that important kicker, which is it ends if they take damage or if somebody uses action to like slap them awake, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to scramble into the tent and grab a spell scroll that I think we lifted from Trehild Shardspike's office, and use Earth Tremor on my point here. I'll scramble in and I'll come back out. I'm going to just paste... You cause a tremor in the ground within range, which is 10 feet. Oh, dang it, I had it up earlier. Range is 10 feet. Each creature other than you on the ground within range. Each creature other than you in that area must make a dexterity saving throw. So sorry in advance. On a failed save to Rye specifically, in this case, not sorry to Alaric. It might wake him out of his stupor.
Right.
On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. If the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared, which I would argue that zombies erupting out of the earth would make loose stone and dirt.
I would agree with that.
each 5-foot diameter portion requiring 1 minute to clear by hand. Which I don't think that applies to this situation. So, yeah, I think everybody around me in a 10-foot radius needs to.
So can you draw me? Maybe.
Yeah, I think I can do an aura.
Just I don't see the range or radius on this.
10 foot.
Zombies 1, 2, and 4.
10 foot square. Or...
Alaric.
Yeah. Oh, just around. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Alaric and Rye.
That's helpful. Thank you so much.
I just find it amazing. He went from mimicking me to doing earthquakes on
So
me.
suddenly,
This is for your own good!
after an earthquake of zombies just erupted, Bahn decides to fight back with another earthquake.
Put him back! Put him back!
Yeah. Maybe this will work in reverse.
Dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, what's your DC for that?
So my save DC, I don't know how spell scrolls work.
I
My spell
assume
save
it uses yours.
is
I
15.
say that, so I'm entirely sure, but I'm gonna assume it uses your save spell. Okay.
It is on the bard list, so
Okay. And yeah, as far as I'm aware, incapacitated does not alter your saves.
that was the reason that I was asking, because I had to look up incapacitated real quick just to make sure.
Yeah.
Rye, I think you also have to make a dex save.
Yep.
Okay.
Dex DC 15. You
Although I felt fine.
said? Can you? Okay. Oh
The good
wow,
news is
max
you,
damage.
You take max
Wow.
damage.
Sorry.
And you're prone. and you're prone.
Curse those zombies at it again.
I don't know what's happening.
Clearly, like moving the ground. You just pretend like you're keeping more zombies in the ground at the moment. Like they're really busting up out of here.
So does that mean Alaric is unstuck?
I don't think you take the damage.
Oh, because
I think-
is it you don't take any damage, you make the save?
I think the opposite happened. On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
And nothing happens if you make the save?
Yeah. Other
Is
than
that considered the tremor? Is that shaking me awake?
Oh, that's
You
interesting.
didn't take damage.
Yeah, but
I've been tossed.
I think the argument is that it's an action to get you out of your stupor.
Yeah. The
So one zombie
zombies-
saves.
Yeah, one zombie saves. The other take some damage as they just gonna shake and rattle around.
And I think I'm going to change my selector tool. I think I'm going to try to reposition here with the rest of my well, it's difficult terrain. Let's
Right.
see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that would be 30. I don't think I'm in range unless they've got reach for the bottom two to do anything.
No, they do not have reach. That's the difficult terrain area with the ground all churned up. Although it's probably already fairly churned up, given that they just popped out of the ground.
And I'll turn off my thing. I am finished.
All right, Kovac.
Which zombies are prone?
That would be zombie number 1 and zombie number 2. Taking some damage and falling down. What's a good prone? The one near Torben made the save.
Alright. I'm gonna bonus action steady aim. And guy up here. Fire my short bow at number 3.
Something's wrong with the Archduke. Oh shit! Open it up with a crit. Go back. You've got, oh my god. Fucking rogue crits are disgusting.
And it's radiant.
My goodness. All right, which one were you shooting at?
Number 3.
3, okay. Or just a bazillion damage. And yeah, so normally undead or zombies, you have to get the equivalent of a headshot. However, because you deal fucking radiant damage, that arrow pierces right through his head and just this holy light just explodes. And the entire head zombies just explodes and it falls to the ground dead.
That's insane.
That's a lot of damage. That's 35 damage from one attack at level 4. Wowzers. Guy's like, holy shit! That was awesome! He's gonna spend his action rousing the Archduke, because that's still his primary charge, and especially since you just took out the enemy that was right next to him, because otherwise he would have faced it. He actually spends his, and he just does like a nice firm jostling. Avgust, please.
Good work, guy.
Rouse him, yeah. Torben, you are unfortunately still incapacitated, I think. I don't believe you even get a save. Is that the way this works?
Yeah, I just looked at it. It doesn't have a...
Okay, you really have to either take damage or somebody else use the action to shape it. Or, like I said, it's concentration, so the enemy's still concentrating.
Yeah.
So your bearfolk stands sternly but stoically in front of a zombie who's... Oh, damn, it's the dead one. No, that one's deadsies. That was a good shot to do that. Rye, you're currently prone next to another prone zombie.
What's that?
Nothing.
I go ahead and stand up, but can I see the guy over here? Because so I have 60 feet of dark vision, but for some reason can't see past 50.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So I don't know if it's my token or what, but I assume I can get this guy, right?
That's weird. It says 60 feet on your thing on my end. I'm not sure why it's not giving you the distance. Yeah, I can see what you
but
see.
I can see.
Yeah, he's literally like right here. Yeah, he's,
I am going to musket shot him to attempt to destroy his concentration.
Okay. But maybe you can't see him.
He's just too far away.
Yeah. You try to get your feet and like the ground's just all fucked up around you. So it's just...
Damn it, Bahn.
Yep.
I'm helping!
Don't you feel helped? Yeah,
Help over there. Alright, you sticking around here?
Yeah. If I move away, does he not get an opportunity of attack?
He does, although being prone,
Disadvantage.
I'm actually okay standing here then.
okay, yeah, being prone
yeah,
would give
I'll
him
just stay-
disadvantage.
Yeah, I'll just stay here.
Alright, Alaric, you are also unfortunately blinded by the light.
And say drooling is a free action. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, for sure. Hoping somebody can poke you.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Well, a gentle poking, perhaps. Alright, so we're still concentrating, so... And the figure you see in the distance looks very ghoulish in appearance, but is also clearly casting spells on you. This is... Yeah. So we will target... Doesn't mean advantage. We'll target Bahn, since Bahn just did a very dramatic spell around and churned up the ground. And Bahn, unless you have the shield spell, which maybe you do, you see a bunch of magic missiles come firing at you.
Uh-oh.
Which we are. Let's see. So 3 darts. So if he does it at 2nd level, I'm doing 4 darts. And I think we all agree we like to roll the darts one at a time for a variety of damage. We've got 1 dart, 2 dart, 3 dart, 4 dart. Ooh, that's some pretty
so
good
17
damage on those darts. Yeah, 17 damage. Just umbrellas out, just all tear into you.
Oh,
You hate to see it.
Yeah. Kill them. Matthias.
Will follow Guy's lead, looking over, seeing him wake up,
Yeah.
wake up his charge, and it's like, all right, boss, need you back in here. So he'll wake him up, and then that's his action.
Yes.
And for his movement, he's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and get
Large.
right into his grill.
Yeah. Torben's realizing he needs a little sidekick buddy just for these circumstances, so somebody can slap you away. Coming in quite handy right now. All right, we got zombie action. This zombie's gonna stand up, and zombies are not terribly intelligent. I'm actually gonna leave it up to fate on whether it attacks Alaric or Bahn. We'll let fate decide. Fate has chosen Bahn. We will make a slam attack, but that is going to be a miss.
I'm trying to scramble into the tent.
Yeah. Number 4 down here will attack Torben. It's probably stupid enough to do that, I would imagine. Just probably hope that pattern would just incapacitate you guys enough to get away for now, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to attack you. Although I believe incapacitated does not actually give me any benefits. This really just can't take actions or reactions, so it doesn't actually confer any advantages, oddly enough. So just a normal attack. I guess you actually want this to hit you, don't you? 16?
Yeah, that should do. I think. Let's see. Yep.
It's funny, like, yes, hit me so I can go.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take that 4 fucking damage. Alright, so you get wakened up by a zombie in your face. Torben, and then I believe we've got number 1, who's going to stand up and attack Rye. 14, Mr. Shadowfey.
So if I had previously cast Mage Armor, then no. It's one of those things like, do we
assume?
Well, we only have X number of spell slots, right? So I would, if this is
That's true. You do not
Swing
automatically.
days
Yeah, you're not
away.
automatically long resting right now. So that is something you would have to tell me ahead of time. Is like, I'm casting Mage Armor.
it hits.
All right. Oh, whoops! I hit the wrong thing. Sorry. Damage is not 20. It's 6.
All right.
All right. Zombies are getting some hits off. Bahn, you're still alive after the giant volley of magical missiles.
I'm just gonna attack the one in front of me. I don't know why it rolled damage automatically, but a 10 doesn't hit. I'm gonna bet.
Oh, my friend.
You know.
I don't know if you knew this about
Zombies.
zombies.
Oh, that's right. They are like 8.
They have very low AC.
Yeah. All right.
I will mention clearly the one that's casting spells is not a zombie. So, and I think it was a 10 earlier that did not hit that one. But yes, a normal zombie has very low AC.
I'm going to use my last Bardic Inspiration and do Psychic Blades. Oh, nuts.
Ooh. On a 2d6, you hate to see it. Double one skis.
All right, guys. Well, I've enjoyed playing with everybody.
Wasn't it that one?
Night clearly. Okay. So that was that, and
For what it's
think
worth,
I
that
would
zombie in front of you does look heavily wounded.
I would like to bonus action offhand dagger attack.
Psychic Blade's a bonus action, or is that just something you do as part of the
So
attack?
Psychic Blades is just, well, let me double check. When you hit a creature with the weapon attack, you can expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal an extra 2d6. You can do so only once per round on your turn.
Okay.
So I think
Like
it's
a-
just part of the
Like
attack.
a Divine Smite, yeah.
So dagger offhand.
Yeah.
For 3 damage.
Okay, I mean, that zombie's looking real bad, but some of you may, without even metagaming, some of you just may have heard that it is tricky to kill zombies. Alright,
Okay.
staking around there, then it is Kovac.
Huzzah! Welcome to the fight, Torben. I'm going to go with the rapier at number 4.
Why not roll for the Archduke? Missed that. I did. Alright, let me get... Yes, you know that's it. My god. Radiant damage. 19. He's built for killing zombies. However, not actually a killing blow on that one, but a very close one. You like really skewer and it's just nearly headless.
Radiant beam is going at number 2.
Okay. 15 does hit it. And 4, god damn you. 4 hits that one, and because it's radiant, doesn't trigger the undead fortitude, so it just goes down in a burst of light. And the Archduke is like,
blind!
should have hired more of these Dawnblades. A whole team of them. Wouldn't have lost the country. The guard will run alongside you, Kovac, and attempt to try. Guard guy has a name, damn it. And we'll attack this zombie. Did I even pull up a character sheet? No. Come on, Eric. At least pretend like you care about this character. All right, and he's gonna attack with 2 hands this time.
Hey, learn something from Matthias.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's still... he tripped a little bit on the way over there and was... Oh, sorry.
That doesn't hit?
But a zombie
Oh, you're right.
has
9 does
ridiculously
hit.
low AC.
I forgot my own fucking thing. It sure does. He thinks it's such a bad hit, and he's like, oh, sorry, and he looks and it's like the zombie's got like this big welt like coming out. However, that is going to trigger some undead fortitude. Which go ahead and just display on there. So it is a con save for zombie, because I just do all this shit in the public rolls. 5 plus the damage taken, so it is going to be a DC 11. The zombie remains, and guys, I thought I got him. Sorry. Torben.
All right. Well, he's gonna coming back to his wits. Torben's gonna quickly unlumber his maul and attack recklessly.
That will certainly hit.
Nice.
Yeah, because damage is a factor here. So you aim for the killing blow. And so what does that make me, a 15?
16, I think.
Holy
Because it's the second time.
Shit.
Oh, jeez.
That zombie is like incredibly fucked up, and yet is like the Black Knight in Monty Python, just still hanging on. Limbs are probably gone, it's got nothing, but somehow it remains.
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah. Like jaw missing, tongue just hanging out, like it's just all kinds of nasty, but always a pain in the ass. Torben's like, no way! I thought that was gonna pulverize him. All gonna surround the zombie and try to kill him. Is that it?
Yes, yeah.
The Archduke, feeling emboldened, will unsheath his rapier and stay by Kovac and Torben and attempt to do the same thing everything else is doing. And attack. Wow, with a very solid hit in the middle, and we'll see if that again. It's like for Krakovar! And he finally pierces the zombie, turns at the last second and gets it right in the brain. And he nods vigorously. His thick mustache jostling. The zombie falls down. Rye.
So, I look over at Torben and I say, "Do you want that guy closer to you?" Talking about the far away guy, with the mind that tend to wonder if he's launching things from afar, that he's doing so because he's weak. You know.
Yeah, let's get him.
All right, so I cast Vortex Warp.
Your lord. Basically, twist space around another creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a con saving throw, or the target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. Chosen space must be on a surface or in a liquid that can support the target without the target having to squeeze. Wow. Just straight up a offensive teleport. Holy crap. With a very solid range. Okay.
So DC 14.
14. Con save is interesting for teleported. Con save like my friend. Ooh. A snap and crackle. You all feel the hair stand on the side of your neck, but it just kind of stares back at you and plants its feet. Carol.
Fail. Nothing happens. So I'm like, I tried. So sorry. Well, I was going to, my plan was to like drop him next to the bear.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Hey, not all plans work the first time. That's my turn.
All right, Alaric.
Okay. Seeing that Matthias has got him distracted a bit, he's going to move up 20, 15, 20, 25, 30. Get a little bit closer. And it's like, you have been marked for justice.
Ooh,
And
agonizing.
there's a jagged black energy that goes from Alaric's rapier, pointing, and it's attached to him. He is now marked.
Okay. Every time you deal damage to the target, must make a charisma saving throw on a failed save. It falls prone. His body is filled with torturous agony. Lord. This creature stares daggers at you and says, "Child of blood, halfling breed." And will
You at least read the header of my resume.
attempt to paralyze you with a wisdom save.
Oh.
It just holds out its hands.
Wisdom save?
Stay.
Okey-doke.
And then turns to Matthias as traitorous whelp. That is his action, though, so we go to Matthias. And obviously not concentrating on hypnotic pattern anymore. There wasn't anybody affected by it anyway, but now concentrating on hold person.
You've touched my master twice.
21 will certainly hit.
He jumps on him and just goes off on him. And does that hit?
No.
Does he lose concentration?
He has to make a... what is it, a con save? I believe it's a DC 10 is the base, or half the damage. So if it makes fails a DC 10, then he will lose it. Oh, no! Oh, I've been nailing all my saves, and then that one bite just distracted him. I guess he didn't expect that.
That's all Matthias is doing is waking up Alaric.
It really is, yeah. It's been a good combo, though, so immediately drops the spell. That one's dead. That one's dead. This one will attempt to attack Rye again. Slamma-jamma. 21, Rye. 5 bludgeoning. And we go to Bahn.
Don't really know narratively how to do it, but I think I'm gonna try to jump inside this tent, and then I don't know Kovac. Which direction is Kovac facing? Like, does he look like he's going to maybe attack the zombie, or does he look like he's gonna go help Alaric?
He's looking around in all directions.
Okay.
There's a zombie to the west and a zombie to the east.
I think he's gonna give like
got the lyrics to your next song.
I think he's gonna give instructions on like the path to take to maybe kill that zombie, and I'd like to give the help action to Kovac.
Okay.
What does that do?
So you get advantage on an attack roll.
Your next one.
Yep. So like my action is I jump into the tent, like, and then I'm trying to give you just the help action to give you advantage on your next attack roll. I'm flavoring it that assuming that you're going to be toward this closer one. But whatever you want to do.
I have advantage against like on all attack.
I literally don't have anything I can do like that's safe for me, and I've got 3 hit points.
Why do you have advantage already?
Probably
Undead,
people within.
Dawnblades.
Yeah, probably people within 5 feet. So Rye's right there already.
Gotcha.
I guess we could switch it, and I could give it to Rye. I could give it to Rye instead, or Torben. Let's give it to Torben.
Give it to Guy.
I'll give it to Torben. I'll tell Torben how to get over there.
Okay.
That is the end of my turn.
Alrighty, Kovac.
Kovac sees everyone leaving this one zombie in our back line. This is a fucking basilisk all over again. I'll run up here and then I'll turn around and fire my short bow at number 1.
Fix some of our webcam. Sorry, everybody's slightly off center and it was driving me crazy. 20 will hit. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Almost max damage.
How on... Yeah, it's just, that's just a 3d6 with just rolling really damn good and really good on your other dice, too. That is a 27 without a crit. Is fucking bananas. And it's radiant, so that just annihilates... it was the zombie, right? You ran forward but turned around?
Yep.
Yeah, you are just absolutely, like, showing off at this point. Just You just run forward, like turn around, and just that one explodes. Rye just gets covered in viscera and gore. It's just total splatter. And guy's like, holy shit!
Gonna bonus action dash up to there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you see, let's see, do I have a thing for this guy? I guess I... One bummer about this. I do like how the Wizards ones has a handout I can give you guys, but... Wait, why did he move? Is it Shift Z? Is that how? Yeah, so that's what... Basically looks like a ghoul, but kind of in like wrappings and robes, and clearly capable of casting spells. And
dude from Peacemaker.
And intelligence, speaking to you as well. Yeah, guy is kind of gonna... He's not gonna dash, but he'll run forward gingerly. Torben.
Right.
And Alaric and Kovac, when you all got close, it's not affecting you at the moment, but you noticed a horrible stench coming off of this creature up there too. Like literally debilitatingly so. Like it's just overpowering you. But we'll get to that in a moment.
I just realized, did I kill all of the ghouls?
Technically the Archduke killed one, I remember that.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you killed 3 of the 4 though, I think. And then Torben swung, triggered Undead Fortitude. The guard attacked, triggered Undead Fortitude, and then the Archduke attacked and finally failed Undead Fortitude. But you, I'll go ahead and say, it has 20 hit points. You did 19 damage to it with 1 attack. Alright, Torben, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, Torben can't see what's over there, but obviously seeing that everybody's rushing that direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Tell the creature definitely tried to stay out of the direct light of the campfire.
Yeah. So I'll follow what I can see of people and dash up this way.
There you go.
And yeah,
Do you see a black line between
in
Alaric and
his
that ghoul?
face. That should do it for me.
That's gotta be scary as shit to see Torben charging at you. Ah. The Archduke, I think he gets his thing back on a short rest, doesn't he? He does. So he will kind of come here and then use his use his leadership ability. It says for Krakovar! And everybody within 30 feet of him makes an attack roll or saving throw. You can add a 1d4 to the roll. Basically gives everybody the effects of the bless spell, if you can remember it. Rye?
Alright, Rye goes to just outside the tent and tosses into Bahn one of his potions. Potions of healing.
Oh, thanks.
Into so I'm gonna reduce it. I had 2, going down to 1.
Yep.
And then I assumed I could do that without taking an action.
Yeah, I think we allow basically 1 potion handling for a free action. And considering
And
you're not injecting it with it, you're just giving it to him, so I'm okay with it.
I'm just tossing it into the tent.
Yeah.
And then I'll drink the other one eventually. And I shoot the bad guy.
14 does hit.
For 10.
This creature, alright. And it finally snarls and gives it a cry of pain.
And that's my turn. Rod finally did something positive.
Yeah, nice. A net gain. So Alaric, before you take your turn, I want to do other things to you. So I mentioned that overpowering
Stunned, held. What else? What else?
It's an arms race right now. I need a DC 13 con save from you to literally try to get past this overwhelming stench coming off this creature.
Okay.
Go ahead and reveal it. Any living creature that starts its turn within 30 feet of the necrophage ghast must succeed on a DC 13 con save or have disadvantage on all saving throws against spells cast by any ghast for 1 minute.
Okay.
So you just feel like it's distracting you and weakening you slightly, but why is your
Okay. It's possible to switch spots with Matthias.
Yes, I really need to codify those rules, but yes, if you take their spot.
Okay. Just do a quick shuffle. Move in, put Matthias back over there.
I bet Pathfinder has rules
And-
for that. Fucking
Ouch.
rules for everything.
Ouch. And going to attempt to hit with the rapier.
I will hit. 13, my goodness.
And he needs to make a saving throw. Because there's a black line between my rapier and him.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. That is a...
Charisma save, DC 13.
Wait, charisma is not one the DM ever wants to roll. Slathering ghouls are not terribly charismatic. Or are they? No, they're not. Not at all.
So he's now on the ground, prone, and screaming.
Oh boy.
You have been marked.
That's pretty cool. Like a fucking villain thing to do, too. Just black energy coming out and you attack them and they're just on the ground screaming. Yikes. So prone. So this creature, clearly now surrounded by dangerous enemies, prone on the ground, looks up at you, Alaric, with just death in its eyes. Says, "You all have been marked. Now." And will cast invisibility on itself. Now, the interesting thing about invisibility is it doesn't mean you can't detect or even necessarily target the creature, and you know obviously it was right in front of you. I'm not going to try to pull any DM shenanigans and say he's gone, but clearly you can sense his plan is to turn invisible and attempt to flee. So
And there's a black line between me and him.
that's
I know exactly
true.
where your song
He does have a
is.
black line. So he attempts to turn invisible and run away. I will allow all of you to take
You're
attacks of
that
opportunity. I'm gonna have disadvantage on everybody, but I'll give Alaric normal because of the line. But still, invisible makes it tricky to target.
Do I have normal because I have advantage?
Correct.
Service.
Boy. Only Kovac is gonna hit though, yeah. Now Kovac, you do get to apply, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think rogues can apply sneak attack on their reaction.
I have disadvantage.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. I guess if it cancels that, okay, I can see that. So 7 damage, and this creature is clearly trying to flee. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of my battle map corner here, so we're gonna try to just abstract this that he's.
Well, it's concentration, right? He just took damage.
Oh
Yep.
fuck me, you're right. Yes, that is true.
Technically, fuck him.
And we may. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Shit, he cannot make
And it
saves
drops.
anymore. And it drops. Oh no. You see now when it drops, you get the satisfaction of seeing fear in its eyes as that drops. And now he had to stand up too, so we only made it like 15 fucking feet. All right, and clearly more damage than he was before. So technically he's 15 feet away, but I ran out of map, so whatever. Right there. All right, Matthias.
Don't know how you want to rule this, but Matthias is going to recover his face, and I don't know if you want that as a bonus action or something. He's covering up.
It's almost like equipping different weapons, which we don't really do rules for, so I think it'd be unfair to technically count face reconstruction as an action. It's like you're sheathing your fangs kind of a thing, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to move up. He's probably, he doesn't have 30, if he moved 15, 20, he's actually probably in melee with him.
Okay.
And will attempt that.
Oh boy. Another crit. Alright, the gas is still up, but looking real fucking nasty right now. It is taking a brutal beating. It's just, he's not even trying to speak, he's just crying out in pain. Bahn, enjoying a moment alone in the tent.
Yeah.
Starting that short rest early.
Starting that rest early.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the potion of healing. Jeez. All right.
That was a sour one.
Yeah.
That's why Rye gave it to you. It's like this one. He took a whip of it. And he's like, "Oh, that's you can't trust the expiration."
I'm like shaking at this point. I'm like, tell me when it's over.
He cut it with water before he gave it to you.
One of those Fey Road potions.
It's an action to take a potion, right?
No, that is we do that as a free action in my games.
Okay.
If you take 2 potions, that's an action.
If that's the case, I'll step out.
I think there's at least one rogue subclass that I fuck over by allowing that rule, though. But I'm not quite sure.
I don't know how much further away it ran. Is it within 60 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
I'll shout out, Neil! And it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
It'll be 4. It was right there.
Do we all need to make that save?
No, I'm putting it in a spot that it would be like only affecting that creature.
Okay.
Oh, because you can specify the point, yeah.
Yeah.
You said wisdom?
Yes.
It'd be hilarious if Bahn just unleashed an AoE with one enemy and like 4 of you around it. And it does. It kneels. This creature has just been fucking puppet mastered.
A kneeling creature is treated as prone. The effect ends if it takes damage while kneeling, but at least it's going to have advantage again.
Yeah, the next person, which is...
Kovac and I aren't a good combo.
Yeah, Kovac already has advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Office Space on this dude.
PC load letter. Fuck, just having 27, just flirting with another crit. Holy crap. Alright, Kovac, how would you like to kill this intelligent ghast?
Well, he's kneeling, so I'll just jam it right in the back of his neck.
Yeah. Very impressive. I'm sure Bahn can take all the credit for that one. I think we literally have to give Kovac inspiration, though, because 4 of the 5 kills just absolutely dominate and show off that entire fight. They're gonna have an asterisk next to your name next time they come after you. You're gonna have a point of inspiration for that.
The black line retracts back into the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Justice has been done. Thank you.
Don't worry about the tank part. I'll just go back to sleep.
we check this guy, I assume he has like the same description note or something, or
Yes. Yes, he's got detailed, at this point, increasingly detailed descriptions for all of you. But still, the Archduke's name is at the top of the list and kind of written as if it were a priority target. But now, clearly, they know that you all are with this Archduke, and they kind of know you're in the general area, and they're actively hunting for you. Although they don't seem to be aware of where you're necessarily what you're doing in here or your plans. So, or at least, again, the Archduke is
Guy listed in the description?
Probably not yet, but you have a feeling he may have to be added to the list just for being there. But you all, so at this point, you can gain the benefits of a short rest if you would like, because that's what happens during our campfire evenings. Some of you may want to take advantage of that. Consider using hit dice. Yeah. Two of you took a pretty nasty beating, and the rest of you, A-okay.
Only half of my beating was from zombies.
That's true. You got a good chunk of that for Bahn. And yet you gave him a potion of healing. Man. Sure, it was a sour potion, but it was a potion just the same.
We know, if nothing else, Ray is a giver.
Mm-hmm.
Cloaks, potions.
Yeah, that is true. He giving it all away. Yeah, you do get
I'm still poor.
Bahn's Song of Rest.
It's full of crying and owls.
Oh, that sounds very restful.
Bond singing the blues.
That's a good
The
one.
magic missile blues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one magic missile volley, like, tore you up. You guys were on that thing, though.
I think at some point Bahn would come back over and give Rye a replacement potion of healing and not even say anything. I don't even know if he would necessarily hand it to Rye. I think he would just place it at the front of his tent and then go back to sleep.
Thank you. I have two, but I might need them. So. Because I'm well out of hit dice.
You guys really need to reach your destination. Not quite there yet. We're going to be approaching day 4, but I think before we get to that point, we are going to take a break. Get back on the map. You all feel like you're probably about halfway on your road trip to Johzt. But let us take about a 5 to 10 minute break, and we shall return after that.
That was unintended consequences. I
Right.
just wanted to see how many times I could make him go prone.
I believe we are coming back from our break now, discussing how well we beat up on that poor Ghast. Poor Ghast. Alright, so you all have officially survived 3 days and nights on your journey to Johzt. Now you've got day 4, and same rules apply on how you want to try to make it there. With whatever tactics you feel be best at.
Torben's idea was terrible. We should never try survival again.
Sorry.
Back to deception.
Just out in the open now, strutting the stuff.
We can just use persuasion, roll into a village, and it's like, persuade our way through. Nothing to see.
I feel
here.
like they probably know like generally where we are and where we're headed now. Can we just like make a break for it?
Ooh, that's interesting. Just try to haul ass as quickly as possible. Try to outrun danger.
I'm down with it.
I would allow that. It would be an athletics group check. And you feel like if people did particularly bad, there may be some more exhaustion involved in that.
I'm not a fan of this plan. Not a fan of this plan at all.
It is an option.
What do you want to
So
do?
this is day 4
Yes.
of a 5-day week or of a 7-day week.
You
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, and the Archduke admits he's not familiar with this area. He was stationed down in Wallenberg. And although he's made the journey to Johzt, it was primarily on the road and not up here. But he anticipates the journey should take about a week, but when you're nearing Johzt, he's guessing that it will be, in theory, you shouldn't run into as much trouble if indeed the dwarves have defended the city, because clearly they would have like a, patrolling radius, basically similar to the last like 2 dwarven fortresses you went to, where you literally, before you got there, you were met with patrols outside of those cities. So he's kind of assuming that would happen here. You're not sure when or where that would take place. So he's hoping you don't have to literally make this gauntlet journey for the entire full 7 days, but we'll need to make a choice for this one.
No one likes the persuasion idea, huh?
I'm down to try stealth again.
I would be down for that as well.
I guess I'm confused. What type of villages are we walking into? Are we walking into vampire villages? Or are we walking into pockets of unsophisticated peoples?
That's a fair question.
I would expect unsophisticated people under the thumb of vampires.
That's probably a good way to put it. Yeah, so this is a lot of rural folks, some farmland out here, clearly far away from a lot of the bigger civilization, and yet this has been occupied territory for a decade, and clearly the influence has been spreading. In fact, at one small little village, a farm village, you pass by a large sign that reads, "Hail to Princess Tristina, Grand Marshal of the Ghost Knights and Protector of Krakovar." Except the word protector has been violently slashed with paint, and crude words spelling out killer have replaced it. So you get these, you get both sides of it, basically. You get an oppressed people who clearly have some dissidents within, and yet obviously the Empire itself has a lot of, has targeted you. And then on the surface, this place has been conquered by the vampires, and in a lot of the villages you've noticed there has been at least a couple of either guards that look very more appropriately dressed and paid than most, and even some red sisters and temples to Morena, which is the blood goddess, in some of these, I mean, not full temples out here, but, little church houses or something, to where you can tell it's not just like, you're not going into like prison camps. There's still people living, and yet the influence is starting to seep through, and you're just not quite sure who you can trust, which is why it makes this travel so difficult around people in this area.
Bahn pulls out the whip and the ruby necklace and was like, I mean, I can try to persuade. But
The dress and the high heels.
that's the part that I'm missing. Yes.
Taking 3 kobolds in a trench coat a little too far. We can try stealth again.
Yeah, we can do stealth.
If you want to just book it, I may have something that'll help a couple of us. And he holds up his spring that he acquired.
It's risky. Let's do stealth or deception, I think.
I'm down for stealth.
Okay. Stealth seems like an obvious choice still for travel, so let's see some stealth group checks. See if I can get the Archduke's in first. Oh dear, he is stumbling. He's gonna need some help here. Maybe still a bit shaken after. Oh! Kovac, you're rogue with the nat 1.
No, this is how you do it.
Are you and Guy just back there like trading stories now, just being too fucking loud? My goodness. However, you do have enough of your team picking up the slack here. Poor Torben still stomping around, making all kinds of noise. But Rye, Bahn, and Alaric, yeah, absolutely kicking ass. And a group check just requires half of you, so that is a success. So you all managed to, despite some of your party hilariously not being quiet at all, I feel like you all have never actually passed a check with flying colors. It's always been like the skin of your teeth you're getting this done each time. But you all make it another day without any big problems, and even you don't have to deal with a lot of the rugged terrain because you're kind of avoiding that, but also being able to hide from most of the prying eyes and people around you. You make it through another day as you begin to really make some gains and now get quite close to Johzt, but I think we're going to need one more check for day 5.
All right,
Now,
I've got it.
Yep.
We'll tie up Torben with a rope. We'll drag him through the dirt for the fun of it. And then
that's not part of the plan.
We'll deceive until we get outside of Johzt, and then we'll obviously let go of the guys.
This doesn't sound fun or useful.
Who's gonna drag him? Like, we're all skinny. We're all nerds.
Take all of you to drag him.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why it's so good. It's because we'll all have a piece of the. I don't know.
That's our story. We found him and we're dragging him through the woods.
Back to the hunting party thing. It's back to the hunting party.
That sounds like deception to me.
We could just tie his hands with the rope.
I think I saw this in a movie someplace.
Yeah. Just loosen it up.
All right.
Perfect. Oh no, you caught me. Let me go. Let me go.
All right, that was probably one of our best efforts yet, honestly. We had 4 people make it that time. With the deception, Archduke is quite a bit better. All right, you think you hear the braying of some terrifying creature in the distance, but you're able to stick to a specific path and really make good progress despite your hilarious fake entourage you've got. But you actually like hit the streets now, and even though people kind of whisper and kind of nudge, you're kind of just waving them off with your particularly fine deceptive skills. And then a few days outside of Johzt, so this is beginning on the 6th day, you crest a hill and witness the end of a battle. A dozen undead corpses lie on the ground as a hairy dwarf astride a giant boar swings their axe into the head of the last one standing. And a dozen other dwarves shout and holler in triumph. I have not seen you yet.
Definitely put the fangs away. Fangs away. Cloak goes to we'll go straight black. Don't want to put Krakovar colors up.
Do you want to hang back, or do you want to try to engage them? At this point, you
Bahn
all have
would
a...
start.
Good.
Is like a horse heading back to the barn at this point. He sees like the semblance of civilization, and yeah, he's walking like straight toward him. Somebody can try to like stop him or pull him back or something. That's fine. But yeah, Bahn's like a horse heading back to the barn.
Okay. How do the rest of you ready?
I'm going towards him too.
Okay.
Alaric and Matthias are going to hang back a little bit, and Alaric is going to put his hand on Matthias's shoulder and say, "As you were."
You can tell from a distance, and as you approach, these dwarves are covered in war paint, and the giant boars are covered in war paint, and they are bedecked in all manner of axes and weaponry, and they've all, cheering, and some of them are already returning to their mounts, and they've got flasks and things that they're drinking as you approach. And then all of a sudden, one of them shouts and kind of points in your direction. The others turn, and some of them unlatch their axes, and others get atop their boars. They're not like charging you or attacking anything, but clearly they are suspicious of your eclectic group approaching them. And they actually, some of them just stand and allow you to come, while others kind of get on their mounts and kind of do a very subtle but important tactical maneuver where they kind of start trying to surround at least. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I think as like we get any closer, Bahn would just say, "I am Bahn Me. I'm here from the free city of Zobek on behalf of the council. We're looking for refuge in Johzt. We've made a long trip, and we've been doing a lot of what you've been doing."
Council? There's no council here. You're a
Yeah,
long
which is
way
fine.
from home.
Yes, very far. I am exhausted, and I really don't have a lot of patience.
What are you doing out here?
We're here looking for Johzt. There's a temple we're looking for.
The Temple of Sif.
Mm-hmm.
And what be
Feels a
your
lot- we've-
business in Johzt?
We're heading to the temple.
Visiting holy sites and killing zombies and ghouls. It's what we do.
You kill the dead then?
Right. Yeah. That's
Well, they're
what I was saying.
technically undead, and then we make them dead again. But yes, that.
Couple of them kind of nudge and nod. Roll a just give me a straight charisma check. Just kind of project your presence.
Can I
Advantage
use
with the
intimidation?
assi-
Are you trying to be intimidating to them? You
Maybe.
can.
I mean, definitely. Well, I can just roll the straight charisma check. That's fine.
Well, I mean, if you want to sell your intimidation, you can sell that to me.
But yeah, to just like, I don't know. I'll do the charisma check.
I'll back him up, whatever he's doing.
And I'll play along. Of course. Awesome. It's a 7.
Oh, that's not great.
Somebody wake Lucian up.
Wow. These dwarves are not very impressed.
I nudged the Archduke. Like, hey,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
idea,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Alaric will step forward if he needs to.
The Archduke does step forward. You can tell he's a bit intimidated by this. He was prepared to meet like in a town hall meeting and not on a battlefield. Like, yes.
Just pretend they're assembled troops. You've done this 100 times before. This is not a problem. You can do this. And he'll give him bardic inspiration.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Yes. We are a diplomatic emissaries. And he hesitates and says, from Queen Ursula herself has sent us to negotiate with Jarl Skuti of Johzt on behalf of the court in exile. And the dwarves hesitate, kind of look back and forth between all of you. Says, who did you say you were? Archduke Avgost, a former Archduke of Wallenberg.
With that, he'll pop his colors.
Nice. And the dwarves, they kind of do like a sidebar thing. A couple of them talk amongst themselves for a moment, but then finally one of them kind of nods to all of you and walks over, and this giant boar is just like just all kinds of nastiness. And he's like, we can take you to Johzt then. It is under our protection. Under Jarl Skuti's protection. You follow our rules. You have a problem with that? And he gestures to the dead on the ground. And when he doesn't hear any complaints, yeah, they nod. It's but less than a day's travel. And doesn't even offer you any food or rations or anything of the sort. And they just kind of ignore you for the moment and saddle up their boars and turn and begin heading back to Johzt. But now you've got a nice little police escort to the city. And Avgost turns to you, Alaric, and says, thank you. I did not expect to meet them like this, but I should be prepared.
Pretty much the way everything's went for us so far. You just run into these patrols. It kind of goes sideways a little bit, and then we end up somehow getting in without getting killed. So it's just kind of par for the course. But you did great.
Yeah,
sir, you did. Your Grace, you did a wonderful job.
I'll give you a point of inspiration for helping you out on that. And you all arrive at Johzt. A decade ago, Johzt, known as the City of Fish, was an ordinary fishing town with extraordinary defenses thanks to the occasional raid from the Reaver Dwarves across the sea. When the undead invaded the country, Johzt reached out to its violent neighbors, and 3,000 dwarves under the control of the youngest son of the King of Wolfheim marched down from their newly fortified settlement of Skogarholm as liberators and conquerors, eagerly cleaving through the undead. Johzt was declared a free city under the control of Wolfheim, and the entire peninsula became known as the Wolf Mark, wresting a large chunk of Krakovar out of the vampire's control. Despite its tenuous status, Johzt remains a wealthy fishing town, though its exports head to Dornig instead of Morgau, and the dwarves enjoy the money and safe harbor it provides. There's a map of Johzt. Fairly big map, too.
I think it's black screen for me.
Oh no! Good. Okay, I can fix that. Has dynamic lighting turned on, which it does not. How about a lit up
Yes.
map of Johzt? It is now day. You all enter through the forest gate, and you can see this town has walls and these kind of star-shaped battlements and moats all over it. Like, it has been doubly fortified, and actually has a river cut through the middle of it, creating basically two different halves. So when you all enter the town, Archduke Avgos says,
Thank Wotan, we've arrived.
he breathes deeply.
Never thought I'd be so happy to smell the salty sea air. Do hope my favorite inn is still around.
And he leads the way toward the shipyard. And you notice he makes no attempt to hide himself, as you all have spent days painstakingly trying to get here, using stealth, using woodland survival skills, and hilarious deceptive hijinks, and yet just going through this big town, kind of trudging along as if, like, literally everything, the weight has been lifted. You all may feel in various, some of you may be really happy to reach civilization, but he just feels like a weight has been lifted and he's charging on ahead, despite you can see several locals already gesturing and whispering to themselves. He does pay.
Matthias, stay close to the Duke. He is your charge now.
He pays for a quick ferry across the estuary, and you all can load up on the ship and have a nice little jaunt across the river. You arrive on the other side. And then he threads his way along major streets. At this point, you're all just trying to keep up with him. And he stops at an inn near the town hall called the Uncommon Porpoise.
He says, here we are. Lovely place, fine service and fresh fish. I will, of course, pay for your rooms. It's the least I can do. Hopefully Earl Scooty is in town and I can arrange a meeting sooner rather than later. Expect it will last a few days. In the meantime, I expect you'll want to check up on that temple about those magic robes. And the gods market here should take care of whatever supplies you need.
And he also says that he will try to secure more funding for all of you, as he is big fans of what you all can do. As you recall, you were all paid by the Queen there in Khorasan before you left. And he mentions that now that he's here, he can try to secure some more money for all of you. He is a big believer in what you all are doing.
Thank
Guys,
you.
we still need a name. We really still need a
Yeah,
name.
branding, man. You got to work on the branding. Otherwise, you're going to let your enemies name you, and that's never good.
Thank you again. You are true allies of Krakovar. We will see this country free again, I swear it.
We are sons of Krakovar. We will do our best and have been doing our best for a long time. But first, I need a nap.
Yeah, for sure. If you all would like to go ahead and get a long rest, you certainly can. Do I need to put your tokens on this map? I can do that. Here.
There was a wand from the stone galleries.
You're
that
right.
Needed to be. I didn't want to make a big deal about it, and I didn't know about
No,
the
you should
rest
have spoken about that. I
situation,
forgot
but-
about that. That would have been good to know. Yeah, we're supposed to identify things on a short rest. Yeah, give me 1 second and I will show that to you. So that wand was a Wand of the War Mage +1 requires attunement, and while holding the wand, you get a +1 bonus to your spell attack rolls. Or half cover, making a spell attack.
I think after Bahn like realizes what it is, he'd be like, Rye, do you use? I don't know. You use guns. Maybe this is a Lucian thing. I don't really have these kind of spells.
I do have.
Lucian might already have one.
What are you saying, Kovac?
I feel like Lucian might already have one, but if not, that'd be good for him.
By my notes, unless I missed it, I don't believe so. Alaric's got a rapier +1. Kovac's got a rapier +1. Io has the +1 shield. None of those are attunement. Those are just weapons and armor. And then Torben has a cloak of protection, and Lucian has the vial of sunlight. Rye did have a magic cloak, but he gave it away. So he is currently magic item less.
Yeah, so I think because it would take another short rest to unattune to it, I think, at some point. But he would basically describe. Was this shared with everybody?
You can go ahead and
Everybody can see it,
attune
right?
to this and during this long rest. That's not a big deal. Whoever is attuning to it, I should say.
Yeah. So Rye, if you want it, that's fine. If you think Lucian should have it, that's fine too. I'm waiting for something real big.
So I do have spell attack saves. I mean, spell attacks. My firebolt and stuff.
You could attach it to your gun like a muzzle.
That's right.
Like a scope. It's like a scope on your fucking gun now. You just look through the wand.
Super Scope 6.
Flip it over to you.
Nice.
Alright, I'll catch it and attune to it. During this rest.
War Mage. Yep, and that was the one from the stone galleries that you found in the tower. Alright. Do you need your tokens on so you can formally long rest? Character sheets? Or can you do that without token armor? Throwing you all into the sea.
Club.
Into the sea. Turns out your boat never made it. You all died on the way over.
I've already had nightmares once this game. Thank you.
So what do you want me to do when I long rest?
Oh shit! Thank you for that. Oh, Kovac. So you have been feeling
that escalated quickly.
Some very disturbing nightmares and general uneasiness. And when you long rest, you get your long rest as normal, but I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And you can choose on whether you want to hide how you're feeling. And if the rest of you are interested, we can even do some kind of contested insight check.
Alaric is interested because I took that medicine skill for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm gonna inspiration.
Okay, that's probably a good play.
Awesome.
That's a worse roll. I'm gonna need you to roll me 4d6, Kovac. As you feel, oh man, fuck. This is why I had you roll it. You wake up after this rest, and you feel just a harsh stinging sensation, like you would from like an infected wound from where you were bitten, and you wake up in just the nastiest sweats. And after your long rest, you take 18 necrotic damage. And your maximum hit points is reduced by that amount. Now, I was going to say, if you have a way of keeping track of your original hit points, just in case you were to be cured of this disease, that would be prudent. But literally, while you're infected by this disease, and you are still infected at the moment, you have your maximum hit points reduced by that amount.
We don't know you're going through this, right?
Okay, so with that amount of damage, I'm not gonna attempt to hide it. I'll be like, "Alaric."
Guys, I feel real fucking bad.
Medic.
Sitting on the toilet, like
He's been in there a long time. Yeah, and basically we'll play this like during that whole stretch. You were starting to feel the effects, and maybe you were trying to hide them, from everybody, doing the classic, zombie thing of just kind of tugging the sleeve down and everything and keeping it down the down low. But now that you've reached the town and you were able to get a full rest, it like suddenly just fucking hits you all at once, and you wake up with all those effects and feeling like you are significantly suffering to the point where if you don't receive healing, you're not sure this thing will fucking kill you.
yeah, that was half my hit points. So let's not do that again.
Yikes. You do note that you're at least in a town, and there are temples and things. In fact, you have to all go to a temple. Or you don't have to. You could bum around, but that's your main quest.
You look terrible. Like worse than usual.
Tilber.
Worse than usual.
You look almost as bad as that time over the Dark Fortress.
Did you get into another fight?
Say,
You forgot to pay the bartender, didn't you?
What the fuck is wrong? You're supposed to be a doctor.
Hey. And he looks. Can I obviously tell it's a bite?
It depends. Is the obvious thing is Kovac trying to hide it anymore, or is he literally like showing you like this? I hurt here.
No, I'll show him now.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh my
between
god!
my knowledge as a Dawnblade and
Yeah.
Alaric's,
It's like pussy. Like it's filled with fluid.
Pussy. Alaric, make a medicine check with advantage as you take a look at this. That's a very good job.
I think I'm rather. No, I know what this is.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember asking you if anybody was bit when we came out, and you said no. It's never good to lie to your doctor or your attorney, because either case it can prove fatal. So this is beyond my skill.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to get you to a temple because
Wait, no,
I
hold on.
can't fix that.
And I'll pull out the scroll that we got in the cockatrice thing. That was a scroll of greater restoration. We've got 2 of them.
Well,
And I'll be like,
we wanna
what
keep
does this
that
say?
we can keep that for emergency use. We might be able
this
to.
is an emergency.
We might be able to pay for services and keep that with us for another time.
You can pay. Like, that's not coming out of group coffers.
Well,
I look at Bahn. Use the scroll, please.
it's like that scroll's above my pay grade. So that's like well above my pay grade.
Let's see.
Now for using,
Yeah, I could. Go ahead.
well, I don't want to interrupt the RP. It's fabulous, but I was going to explain the using the scroll part. A greater restoration might be normally a bit above your.
Yeah,
It
that's a
is.
5th
Yeah, it's
level
5th
spell.
level.
Yeah, that's a serious deal.
I can't do 3rds yet, so
We do have.
How does your rules work?
Right,
for
yeah. So
spell
I
scroll?
actually have spell scroll rules to try and open it up to where spell scrolls are more like video gamey in a way, where it's like anybody can use the spell, but there are some possible side effects. So these are what I've got in there. Anyone can use a spell scroll as long as you have the spell casting feature. If the spell in the scroll is not on your class spell list, you can still attempt to use the scroll. You must succeed on a skill check depending on which classes can normally cast that spell. Kana, Nature, or Religion with the DC equals 10 plus the spell level. If the spell appears on multiple class spell lists, you may choose which skill to roll. If you fail, the scroll is consumed, and you must then roll on the Wild Magic Surge table.
Greater Restoration should be on Bahn's and Alaric's list.
It's on my spell list.
It is.
Yeah.
How does it work for higher casting?
I think I
Isn't-
meant.
I think it's DC 10 plus
The spell
plus the level.
level?
Yeah, I think that's still. Normal rules.
So it would be 15.
If the spell is on your class's spell list but of a higher level than you can normally, this is the official rules, normally cast. I can copy and paste this. You must make an ability check using your spell casting ability to determine whether you cast successfully. So the good news is you can just use whatever your spell casting ability is if it's normally on your spell list, and then the DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
All right, Alaric.
You're a better caster than I am.
Oh,
Inspire me.
Don't blow smoke up his ass. He'll just fucking run away with it.
Bahn, I really believe that you can do this, that you are a much better caster than I am. I'm sure that you've got this handled. There's nothing wrong. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this as he slowly backs down the hallway downstairs.
As I just get into behind the lead glass.
And I will burn a bardic inspiration.
Right. So this is a charisma check, right?
Yes, and you're looking for, what did we say Greater Restoration was? A 5th level?
15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, nails it. Didn't even need any modifiers. Nice. All right, so you unroll that scroll and describe to me how. Yeah.
I'll like look over at his. Oh, it's so gross! I can't look at it. As I
No, that's his good arm.
recite the words on the scroll, and it'll start to glow with light. And then I'll take the energy from the spell scroll and try to just apply it without looking. make sure that it's such a, and then it starts to do its job from there.
All right. The good news
Hopefully.
is, yeah, Kovac, it does work, and you see that visually. That does seem to cure the effects. It was obviously a very nasty disease, but it was a disease, so it did get cured with Greater Restoration. So you consume a scroll, and Kovac, you are still injured after the long rest just because of it hits you, but now you're no longer having to continually make those saves.
Okay, we're down to one.
Thanks, Bahn. And I
Yeah,
give
I'm
Alaric the side eye. Stingy fuck.
I'm pretty awesome. I know.
You made Bahn out to be the good guy. That's hard to do.
And Rye gives him a potion of healing.
Oh.
Yeah, so here, I don't think this was watered down.
What?
I didn't spit in this one.
But not trusting, it's actually the one that Bahn gave me. So
Oh, tastes good.
Nice.
Well, Bahn, you feel like doing some negotiating here in the next 10 minutes?
Sure. Yeah.
You want to run to the temple?
Or
I'm
the
down.
market?
Or the market, yeah.
Whichever one you guys want to go to, I'm ready to do it.
Temple.
Yeah, we can go to the temple then.
I mean, we're going to get an artifact, right? Something like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what you've been hunting after. This artifact that was mentioned way back in Zobek by that Red Sister that you had defeated and captured. That has been bringing you here ever since. Although you did drop off your escort NPC successfully, so. And Guy stays with the Archduke also. He looks very sadly at all of you, but fondly. And just, I can't believe I survived so much and didn't level up at all. Maybe next time you see maybe next time you see me, I'll be a better stat block. I will protect the Archduke. And Kovac, do you have a business card for the Dawn Blades you can give me? Because that shit was awesome.
I give him a pamphlet.
so you want to join the Dawn Blades?
Nice throwback. Nice throwback.
He pockets it eagerly.
That was your first downtime activity, printing pamphlets, wasn't it?
Just passing that shit all around. Now that you've spent so long trying to be on the down low, it's just giving out pamphlets everywhere. It's just got his face on it. All right, on
Look
to
at the shirts agent.
Yep. The temple to Sif, as you were told, was the best place to start looking, as this was an artifact supposedly created from Sister Adelind, who, as you recall the story, during the invasion, she was a warrior. The whole temple is devoted to mainly warrior women.
Shield Maiden?
And she gave her life at Yarosburg Castle. She slew a vampire lord, like one of the generals of the attacking forces, but in return she was slain by just hordes and hordes of undead. And afterwards, supposedly a piece of her robes, and she was later declared a saint by Queen Ursula. And then supposedly a piece of her robes has been granted some kind of holy magical powers. The inside... Oh wait, I'm skipping ahead too much. The temple is more of a fortress, or at least being turned into one, with crenellated battlements and stone towers under construction around the great temple. Two heavily armored, heavily muscled human women armed with bows, axes, and shields stand guard at the open gates. As you approach, they call out in unfriendly terms to state your business.
Before we would have got up within sight of that, I would have put my hand on Matthias and said, as you were.
Yep.
And then going up, if it's all right, Alaric will take point on this. And he's wearing turn the cloak to Krakovar colors. And will bow, and he goes, servants of Sif, I am a servant of Wotan, and he will bow. We respectfully ask for your permission to enter the temple. We have come a very long way from Zobek, fought and slain many a ghoul to get here. We have questions, and hopefully you may be able to be of assistance.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage, please. They look somewhat incredulous about all of this, but they look out over your whole party and kind of turn and say, what kind of assistance can Sif's Loyal offer you?
With this, I'll pull out the book. And it's like, just very non-threatening, all weapon sheath, comes up and he goes,
Yeah, they like kind of, for a second, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, pulls out the book, opens it up, as ordered, and it's like, We were told that we may be able to receive an audience, perhaps, with the head of your order that's here. We have fears that the Ghoul Imperium are once again on the move to attack Zobek. We look for assistance, look for information about Lady Adelaide's relics, something that may be of assistance to us.
With the book and your speech, they certainly exchange some meaningful glances, and then they actually take the book if you're offering it and kind of open it and see the flower within, and they look at meaningful glance, or if you show it to them.
I will show it. I don't
Okay.
want to let go of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. And they
Yeah.
yeah. But they kind of nod solemnly and say,
enemies of the dead would be welcome.
Oh yes, definitely.
Would be welcome in the temple.
and they stand aside and usher you in. But as you walk by, they kind of call out,
But may have to prove yourself.
And the battlefield sounds of metallic clanging rings out around the courtyard as a group of fully armed women swipe at training dummies, fire arrows at targets, and run through obstacle courses. And immediately draws the attention as you step in. And one of them says,
These ones don't look like Sith worshippers. Too scrawny.
though she raises her eyebrow at the towering bearfolk.
Scrawny. Yeah, yes, I guess they are.
That's you.
I'll bow and say, Kovac of the Dawn Blades.
Okay.
Alaric, servant of Wotan. Matthias would say something similar.
Yeah, at least one of them does at least incline her head when you mention Wotan.
On me from the free city of Zobek. And you're right. Last trial I did didn't work out so well.
Rye of the Shadowfey.
Or odd bunch. Look like adventurers, yes?
And the others kind of do that like sneering, kind of laughing thing as they have now turned their attention towards you.
Emissaries, more like. We've been sent by the Council of Zobek.
You hear that? Politics. They're here for politics. Do not like politics here.
Not politics. We were sent by them. We're not politicians. We're more of practical application.
That we can respect.
Tell them the truth, Alaric. We're here for an artifact.
Well, we've already covered that up front, but yes, we've looking for Lady Adelaide's information on pursuing a piece of her robe, something that would give us a further advantage on fighting Morgau and the Ghoul Imperium.
You're treasure hunters, sisters.
And a couple of them laugh and just kind of shake their heads. But one of them does come up and say,
You are serious about this. You will want to speak to Yagoda,
our priestess.
but first you will need to come through me.
And she's a particularly large, just very thick and gleaming breastplate and everything.
Now, which one of you will challenge me? We respect might here.
Bahn takes a step backwards.
When you say go through you, what do you mean?
I'm just
Torben's
looking at
already
Torben.
stepping forward.
Go ahead, Torben, what are you saying?
As Alaric's asking that, Torben's already stepping forward.
Okay. Yeah,
What do you mean by go through you?
she ignores you, Alaric, for the most part, and sizes up Torben immediately, and she has this like hungry look in her eyes, and grins kind of wickedly. She says, "Come now, let us dance. I have not fought one of your kind yet."
Indeed. What are the rules?
What do we think? Ladies, do we do first blood or first to kneel?
Neil!
From behind Torben.
Neil sounds good. I'm in.
Yeah.
Do you guys take wagers on this by any chance?
Should read the fine print.
Yeah. You can say a couple of them kind of laugh and stand up, but they don't. They kind of glance balefully at you when you mention wagers. But they do cheer on their sister. And Torben, if you step up, we're gonna roll some one-on-one initiative.
All right.
Don't suck!
Does that count as you using bardic inspiration?
That's yes. Yeah.
Don't suck this up. You
It's
feel
hilarious
inspired.
that I'm the Death Cleric's the positive one.
Yeah.
Do that rage thing.
All right, and she gets. I'm gonna put you up since you said you're standing up.
Okay.
She wins the initiative battle with a 9, and strides up to you. She unhooks a battle axe, and she has a very large, nice bronze shield in front as she approaches you and attempts to bash you with her shield. 22 hits, I'm assuming,
Definitely.
for 7 bludgeoning damage. And I need a strength save or be knocked prone as she literally just clang.
Oh.
And she's pretty tall, but you are still taller than her, so she really has to put her legs into it.
Fortunately, I am not a disadvantage on that anymore. So
Yeah.
I got a decent.
Ooh, yeah. Plant your feet impressively, and she kind of enjoys that. She smirks and says,
As tough as he looks, maybe.
as a regular action, she will unfortunately swing wide with her axe. And we go to you.
All right.
Keep her head on, unlike that last woman you fought.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got the rage.
Definitely rage. Feel like this will be worth that.
What does it look like when you rage?
No physical change, just like a much more aggressive stance. And let's do
18, despite her armor and her shield, 18 does connect. Ugh. Reels back. Ah! Kind of spits up a little bit of blood as you crack her. And we can narrate this as you're not, like, literally trying to kill each other, but you're still dealing, like, damage to down each other, essentially.
yeah.
And she will immediately come back. She's kind of trying to dance around you a little bit. And attempt to bash you again with her shield. Again, that's going to connect, I believe. For 5, and once again, try to knock you prone. With a strength save.
Yeah. The nice thing about raging now is I get advantage on that.
Yeah, and you only obviously have resistance to... Oh, man. Very much just like you don't even move. It's just like kung. You're just standing right there. Your arm vibrates a little bit when it backs off.
All right. And
She is 17.
Yes.
Was hit, but now you're resistant for 5 slashing. And then it is you. So her shield bash is a bonus action.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not a little
All
bit.
right. He's gonna keep working the maul.
Ooh, 22 is going to hit. Oh my goodness. For 15. And she definitely reels back by now, and she kind of glances unsteadily, and you see the others were cheering her on, and after that they kind of, ooh, you know, they give a little, the crowd dies down a bit.
Like I said, don't knock her head off.
She grunts and grits and tries to come at you again. Are the rest of you doing anything specifically, or just watching the fight? Like 12's gonna hit you. Oh
Bahn's
shoot!
watching the fight for
Okay.
sure.
I don't think 13's gonna hit either, so she is definitely reeling.
I think it's Kovac's taunting that's got her.
Yeah.
Put her in a body bag.
15 actually does not hit her. She blocks that with her shield.
Can I add my inspiration then?
You sure could.
All right. Let's see what.
D6.
Does that 15 have the rage? The +2 for rage?
I think that's only for damage. I don't think
Okay,
you
there you go.
get a attack roll bonus for raging.
About a 19.
19 will hit. Good use of the inspiration. Bardic inspiration. That's kind of confusing that it's...
Yeah.
My goodness, are you rolling like max damage each time? Oh, it's just a 2D. Yeah, it's just a giant ass wormball. I guess it's just slightly above average damage each time, which is certainly taking its toll. 15 again, so now she's reeling back, and now that all of you know that these women are no fucking joke, she's taking all this damage, and is not resistant, and is now taking
Are
it.
the other Shield Maiden stances any different?
What do you mean by?
Like are they like they were training and practicing and stuff?
Yeah.
Are they like, you know, cheering? Are they standing? Are they open jaw?
They were yeah, obviously they're all stopped what they were doing and paying attention to you all, and now they were cheering her on, but now after this brutal, it almost like the tide has turned, and now they're kind of quieting down and just kind of watching it with respect. So now they're no longer really cheering her on particularly. At this point, she will actually start attacking recklessly. She is going to go all in on this and keep trying to bash you with the shield. For 6, and once again try to knock you down. And she's just grunting now. She's no longer like grinning playfully now. She's like seriously locked in. Still not trying to kill you, but definitely just trying to down you. as it is. But yeah, saved by the rage there. You're too angry to fall. Or too concentrating. And a normal attack, also at advantage, because I believe it's on all melee weapon attacks. 20. Alright, she's connecting with the reckless, so 8. Now that means you gain advantage on her without having to do reckless yourself.
He's gonna give a little grunt of, "Are you sure more?"
She grunts back and says, "Aye, and thank you. You asking if you need some more? Oh shit. Are you ready to kneel?" And you can tell she's huffing very, she's not even trying to hide it now. Alright, at this point, after that blow really like cracks her in just like in the middle of the midsection, and she finally like bends over and hurls up a big wab of blood, and the rest of the sisters, like one of them even gasps for a second, and then she stands, and instead of swinging her sword or axe or anything, she nods at you and throws her shield on her back, puts her axe, and then she, very as if she were proposing to you, very dramatically kneels in front of you. Says, "Warrior, I would know your name."
Torben puts his maul on his shoulder and reaches out a hand like to help her up and says, "I'm Torben."
She accepts it and stands up and says,
Torben, you fight well.
and she nods at the others, and they all cheer for you now at this point.
He takes it humbly.
Hey, Bahn, I'm not really sure on the customs of Sif, but does that mean they're married now? I mean, what does this mean?
Quite possibly.
I'd have to consult my notes.
Torben, you can have a point of inspiration.
Thank you.
And then they agree to lead you into the temple proper.
We don't have anything like this in Wotan worship. This is totally new for me.
You immediately fight with a bunch of jocks.
It's really inappropriate, but death by snoo is what I
Death
keep.
by snoo. It's always where you go with like Amazonian women, yeah. The spirit is willing, but the body is
weak and evil.
Squishy. Squishy and bruised or something. I forget the quote. God, I love Zap Brannigan so much. The inside of the temple resembles the upturned hull of a great wooden longship. The altar is a simple stone slab. Hanging from the ceiling above it is a bound sheaf of giant-size arrows, which most of you would probably recognize as the holy symbol of Sif. Striding up to the altar is a middle-aged woman, her dark braided hair streaked with gray. She wears a gleaming silver breastplate that barely contains her bulging muscles, and her face proudly bears the scars of battle.
My name is Yagoda, chief priestess of this temple. Though I have heard some rumors of your arrival, I do not deal in rumors or whispers. Speak plainly of why you are here.
And she mostly addresses Torben at this, having apparently witnessed your tete-a-tete.
Thank you for honoring me, but I'm not the one for words. Let Alaric or Bahn speak. They understand better what we seek.
Little wave. Bahn, care to do the honors?
I'll be as plain as I can. I am from the free city of Zobek, along with Kovac. We've come because the undead are in the tunnels of Zobek. They've made it that far south. And in the pursuit to try to find a way to solve the problem, we've spoken with Lore Master Trehild Shardspike and Captain Brogan Bonepasher, who told us that we needed to speak to someone about the robes of Sister Adelind. That her robes will save the free city of Zobek.
And hopefully kill a whole bunch of the undead in the process.
She takes this all in very carefully, and you can see her expression changes a bit when you mention when you mention Sister Adelind specifically. She then inclines her, and she's kind of studying you very oddly, like she's not really dealt with kobolds much in her experience. And then she kind of glances at you, Alaric, and says,
I was told you have a book, the Snowdrop.
Oh, this book? And yeah, I would very graciously bow and then walk forward. Yes, the Queen of Krakovar in exile, is her and her sister have given this to us as
You have
a
seen
token.
the Queen. You've met her.
She lives.
you can say she kind of rocks back on her heels for a second and closes her eyes and nods as
She speaks highly of you and your temple and what you have done here. They speak very
Yes.
highly of Sister Adelind.
That is good. You must be on important mission. Must understand robes are still legend even among us, but I can help you. There is an order of knights dedicated to battling the undead conquerors. They call themselves the Spear Maidens of Hope. For them, the war never ended. They wander the countryside and battle the undead wherever they can, venerating Sister Adelind. They would know about the robes. Perhaps one of them even possesses such an artifact. You will never find them, but lucky for you, the anniversary of Sister Adelind's martyrdom is approaching. Many of the sisters make a pilgrimage to the site of her last battle at Jarlsberg Castle, or what's left of it, to pay tribute. You can make it there. You have a chance meeting them, hopefully finding this artifact.
Is this group something Alaric would have known about during his resistance days?
You probably would have heard of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously something that wasn't born until after. It was born of the actual invasion. But yeah, they're probably a legendary status amongst native Krakovians who are wanting to, believe that there is some resistance. They would be the kind of group that people would be silently cheering for, and that the undead would, or that the vampires would clearly be very much like secret police trying to like hunt them down and not allow anybody to give them safe harbor and any of that kind of thing.
Well,
But
as a Hussar of Krakovar, it would be an honor to meet them. I've done nowhere near as much damage to Morgau as they have, but it would be an honor to meet them.
it is dangerous. Their whole lives are danger. But judging from you all, I think the same could be said of many of you. Or perhaps this will be a
Turns and looks at Kovac.
fortuitous meeting. Yeah, you look like hell. She does.
I ignore that and I say, would they part with the shroud?
That I do not know. They are loyal to each other and to the country. It is not my place to comment on that. Perhaps I don't know what your need is, but if you were to try to take it from them, I don't think that would go well. And I sympathize with what's happening in Zobek, but what's happening here is desolation for many. We here at Johzt can only do so much. It is almost all we can do to hang on to this city in some semblance of normal. But
Are these human females or dwarf females?
these are primarily human. You probably do see a few dwarves. But probably primarily human and primarily local Krakovians. You can imagine most of the dwarves. Some of them probably do follow Sif, but a lot of them are more into Thor, I think it is, in this universe. Obviously, all the Norse gods are here. Wotan is basically Odin. So, and the dwarves, at this point, it's been years. The dwarves have integrated, into the town well enough, and yet they still have like, little dwarf town and everything like propped up where they've got their own customs and bars and everything. So it's probably population is still probably 75% human in this whole town.
He would respond with, yes, well, the city's capable of handling itself. We're not asking for your direct aid. However, and I guess he doesn't have like good religion to know. But he would say, "What? I don't see why we should stop now. Is there anything that you need assistance with in the meantime?"
I appreciate the offer, but I would recommend helping this country. You are, how do you say, loaded bow, and I would like to aim you in the right direction. And the direction is all of Krakovia. Krakovar needs all the help it can get. Feel your talents would be wasted here in Johzt. I can recommend travel is dangerous, as you no doubt know. I don't know how you managed to get here. We don't get a lot of visitors on land here. It's increasingly dangerous. And you don't need to travel on land too much. Back on.
No.
Have you got a Pegasus?
No. We have boats.
Oh,
It's on a boat. I'm on it. The river here in Johzt, the estuaries connect to the swamps, Siarka Swamp, to the southeast. Normally, I would not suggest people go there, but times being what they are, it might be one of your safer travels, as you can connect with the river Yashtala, and that will take you south to Warsaw. Stan, if I may, or Alaric, if I may be so bold, perhaps you were either from or had done some work or to some effect in Warsaw.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably
That's.
would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's one of the major cities. Yeah.
It is. And you all, if you can see on the map, Yarosburg is way the fuck down here, which is why I'm trying to give you a good travel means. I would suggest taking a barge into the swamps, get on the river. Should be much faster travel to get to Warsaw. Warsaw would be very dangerous, but perhaps folks of your talents can make it out of there alive, and then perhaps just a few days travel to Yarosburg. Yarosburg was once a castle, as you recall. You just heard the story from Archduke Avgast. One of the first to fall
to the vampire armies as they marched north. It is little more than ruins now, but still a holy site where Sister Adelind slew the vampire lord and fell. A venerated site for the Spear Maidens of Hope. I believe that is where you will find them, and that is where you should get your final answers for this holy artifact. I will say the sisters have been doing their work for years and have been astonishingly successful in this time. So perhaps that is a reason for it. They have access to such a powerful weapon.
Familiar with the area around Valenoria or Varshava and that. Done many patrols there. It's been some time ago though.
I am sorry to say, Cleric, I've heard reports that the Temple of Wotan was razed to the ground.
Well, when we reclaim Krakovar, we can rebuild.
He nods. In the meantime, I have oddly enjoyed the company of these dwarves, our great liberators, former enemies. Suppose if there's one thing the dead can do, it can ally the living against them. And we're hoping they keep, this is bad pun, biting off more than they can chew. With, Krakovar is far bigger country than Morgau. Still country, we like to think of. And I think it is harder for them to maintain control. Especially with the dwarves cutting out a piece here with the wolf mark. And the spear maidens doing their work around the country. And now maybe folks like yourselves.
We greatly appreciate the information. Thank you.
Did you need any healing? Like greater restoration?
I could use some standard healing.
We can offer such services, although we would appreciate donations as well, of course. The collection plate will be passed around. As you can see, we are currently under construction. Renovations.
Here's a wand. Oh wait.
I can't help it. Just take it. Just plops the wand in the collection bowl.
I need to look at the flaws in his character sheet now.
The opposite of like greedy. The anti-Kender. First Kender.
He's picked up a new flaw.
Yeah. Weirdly overly generous.
I can only use magic that I create.
Yeah, otherwise, you all are free to have some downtime, really, in Johzt. Technically you're always under at least some form of a time constraint, but it's not like a really formal one, so you all don't have to leave immediately, for example. And the same thing was true with Karayasin when you left there. You guys could spend a couple days in downtime, but you've got access to the Gods Market, and I mentioned Johzt is still, despite its location, it's still technically controlled by the dwarves, and it still has a fairly good trade system because it's on the coast. So you actually can enjoy normal prices from the Gods Market. And then the temple can provide healing, although we do have in my house rules some notes about how much that stuff costs. She would definitely give you a discount, but it would have still at least cost you some money for her to perform, especially Greater Restoration. I think that's normally a very expensive one. She would probably do it at best for half cost, which would have been 225 gold.
Yeah.
So
Would a cure disease work for that?
I don't think so. I think specifically you need greater restoration for that particular effect.
Okay.
I will say though, Alaric, since you specifically rolled a 20, I think, or a crit, whatever it was, on a medicine check.
Yep.
You also feel like when you were studying it, pull up the notes on it real quick. You feel like lesser restoration would give the victim a better chance of staving off the effects, if that makes sense.
Improve on their saving throws and
Yes,
stuff. Gotcha.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So that would at least do some good, but it would require a greater restoration to actually fully cure them.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, with this bit of information about basically where you need to head next, although you've now been given a pretty big tip, which is hop on a barge, head into the swamp, and then try to connect to the river and make it downriver from there. But otherwise, you all can spend some downtime in Johzt, and we can be shopping and do all that. I probably, between sessions and whatnots, before you guys set off on your next leg of the journey. But I think that is going to do it for this. Look at that timing, just fucking perfect. For this episode.
Does the Duke pay us before we go shopping? That's the question.
I'm sure since you mentioned about waiting a couple days, I'm sure we can work something like that. He could probably give you guys a bit of an advance, but I will get to you all about that. All right, that is where we're going to end our episode of Empire of the Ghouls for this session. Thank you to Brandon, Christopher, Genocider, John, and Stan for playing. And thank you to all the patrons for making these sessions happen. Shout out to the Platinum patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, William, Brandon, Genocider, David, Eclectic, Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Brian, William, David, Corey, Koa1337, Matthew, Big Nut, John, Infernus, Chris, Scott, and Gene. And gold patrons: RPG, Papercrafts, Pretty Boy, Anna Yuma, Marcus, Dead Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Lippy Spuds, Jerome, Nathan, Fast Like a Tortoise, Scott, Refus, Carolyn, and William. I will see you all next time.